What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What up to all of my friends and family? How y'all feeling today? What's going on? Happy birthday to all of the chasers. Who has a birthday today? Who has a birthday this month? What's happening, y'all? Tuesday, July 28th, 2026, year of our Lord. Man, I've been having so many epiphanies and perspectives and different emotions and changes and shifting and objectives. You feeling good, DJ Ace Productions? Man, I got so much happening in my mind. I've been getting a lot of stories, and so I figured we go ahead and tackle some of this stuff that's going on today. Haitians, TPS program is ending for Haitians today. Over the weekend, I didn't even address this one yet. Trump was questioning whether or not LeBron was racist. Lots of stuff going on, right? Women trying to expose men and then getting killed. Yeah, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of women that's been trying to expose these guys, apparently ex-husbands and stuff, so we gonna get with that. Whole family of 8 was taken out. A woman accused a guy of being a pedo, and then she got took out. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot happening in these streets. But how y'all feeling today? Onaka says, good morning and happy birthday to the July babies. That's a fact. What up, Wok? You said Trump was wrong for saying that, K. Cooper? K. Cooper, you know what I'm thinking? My hands are slippery. K. Cooper, I'm starting to think that you are a blackity black. That was the best sip of water that I've had in a long time. A long time. I think that K. Cooper might be a blackity black. Am I right, K? K. Cooper, am I off or no? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Lonnie Clark says AD Usher got dissed in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, well, let's pull it up. Why not start with Usher? Usher, baby. Let's see. Usher. Let's just type Usher. Y'all said Usher got dissed, huh? All right, well, let's pull it up. Why not?
you want to be on the stage?
So why do you say that he got dissed? I don't understand. Why you say he got dissed? Where's the diss part? What's the diss part? Why did y'all are y'all going with headline? Oh, come on, man. Listen. Fellas. What am I missing? Where's the diss part? DJ Ace Production says she did an interview on TMZ about how she got upgraded to BIP and they randomly pull you on stage. All right, let me pull that up. Somebody said rejected. She pulled back from him. Is that how you feel? So because she pulled back from him, you feel like he got dissed? All right, so let me speak on this before we get into going into the TMZ video that you're saying that. I'll pull up the TMZ video shortly. First of all, this is why guys are divided. This is why guys will never, ever in any way, shape, or form get women together, even though they're the weaker vessel, even though the only reason that they have anything that they have in feminism is because we allow it to be. The reason why I say that guys are divided is because y'all will pull up and say, Usher got dissed. What we really should be saying is Usher was situationally aware enough to be able to recognize when the chick ain't chicken and he got up out of there immediately. I don't care who you are. I don't care how tall you are, how famous you are, how much money you have, what is going on. Everybody in their life at some point was around somebody that wasn't necessarily feeling them. Everybody at some point was around somebody that wasn't feeling them. The thing that we need to start paying attention to is how quickly can you recognize that the person that you may be around, and I'm gonna get to her in a second. How quickly can you recognize that the person that you're around is not feeling you? I don't even look at it as rejection. I look at it as, hey, listen, this just ain't making sense. Time to get up out of there. I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. The problem isn't with Usher at all. Because Usher recognized it immediately. Apparently within a minute, he figured it out. And so he was like, all right, cool. We need to keep the show moving. Let's get her up out of here. Obviously, she's not trying to be here. Let's get up out of here. The question then becomes, why did she... See, instead of y'all saying, man, Usher got rejected, why are y'all not saying, why did she come up on stage with Usher in the first place? Because now that we were able to realize that Usher made a smart decision in getting up out of there, the question that we should be asking ourselves is, and see, this is what being situationally aware does. It puts you in a driver's seat. It puts you in control. You now get to determine what the narrative is because somebody can't say you took it too far or you pushed it or you was doing something you wasn't supposed to do. So now we have to turn it on the woman because we know that Usher did everything that he was supposed to do. So this is what taking accountability looks like. Why did she go up on stage with Usher if she was in no way, shape, or form interested in being up on stage with Usher? Why do women go on dates with men that they don't like? Somebody says she wanted Chris Brown. I get to her in a second. I don't care about that. It don't matter. The question is, y'all keep on deviating, and this is how women are able to finesse y'all. Why is she on stage with Usher? Why does she even go up on stage with Usher if she never was interested in being on stage with Usher? And Brian, you hit the nail on the head. It was for clout. It was for clout. It's for something. It's for food. It's for clout. It's for VIP. It's to use y'all. And again, instead of guys having a more singular conversation, because the women gonna look at it one way, and the guys are supposed to look at it a completely different way. And maybe I'll even introduce this into the conversation on Room 9 tonight. Why do y'all go on dates that y'all don't want to be on? Why do y'all hang out with men that y'all don't want to be around? Why are you laying around with men that you're not attracted to and allowing for them to be and being in their bed? Because I would like to have a broader conversation. Let me pull up her interview real quick. You said she was on what? What was she talking about? What platform was she on?
The young woman who got called up on stage, her name is Gabrielle Cheyenne, and she is joining us right now to explain what was going on in her head and why the fans are giving her such a hard time. All right, so
Why weren't you into it?
It wasn't that I was into it. I was approached first and upgraded to VIP, and they don't give you any instructions on who, what, when, where, or how.
They didn't tell you they were going to pull you on stage?
They told me that it was a possibility of me going on stage, but they didn't confirm that until it was closer to time for me to go on stage.
But guess what she did take? She took the VIP. She took that VIP. Look at T-Mac. Good Lord, she's a beautiful lady. Oh my God. You guys are just like Samson. So easily finesse. Good God. Y'all can't see past 1 ounce of hair, a piece of lip gloss, and some teeth. Good Jesus, good God. Are y'all able to put y'all dick away for 5 seconds and be able to see beyond what a chick look like so that you can make a smart decision for yourself and don't get caught? Now I see. Now I get it. Now I get it, bro. Now I get it. I see it now. I see what the problem is. It's us. We the problem. We the problem. This is why we keep on getting these charges. This is why we keep on putting ourselves in harm's way. This is why we keep getting caught up with the hoes. This is why we always getting false accusations. This is always why. This is why. Every single time. Every single time. Y'all just fall hook, line, and sinker for the okie doke. Good God. Can you please? It is 10:17 a.m. Eastern. How are y'all dudes not able? You got clarity right now. It's the morning time. It's work hours. You're not even supposed to be this easily finessed. Jesus. Is that all it take? Is that all it take? What is going on? I mean, listen, it's cool to look, but it's never cool to be a sucker. It's never cool to be a sucker, bro. Ever. Ever. The realest dudes and the smartest dudes. I mean, and it's a direct correlation with discipline. Discipline equals success. Success equal money. Most men that do not have any discipline either get it and lose it or never get it at all because they too easily distracted by pretty objects. Good gosh. The minute you ain't even heard nothing that she said. I see that, Abe. You ain't even heard nothing that she said. Y'all immediately smitten. And I can't even blame them because they gonna do what they gotta do to get what they want.
And of course, you're getting to go up on stage. Why would I decline that? People are pulling the narrative that I'm in a relationship or whatever the case may be. No one can tell me the reasoning as to why I said yes to getting on stage. But you also don't know who you're going on stage for or with.
I'm going to kind of pick up what you put down there. You said, I didn't know who I was going to be pulled up on stage with. The way I see it, there are two people. There's Usher and there's Chris Brown. And that means that you were banking on Chris Brown and you got Usher and you would have been more into it with Chris Brown. Am I reading this right?
Me solely, I went to the concert for Chris Brown. It's nothing against Usher or anything like that, but I'm more of a Chris Brown fan than I am of Usher. So of course, it would have been a different reaction with Chris Brown. It wouldn't been the stiffness or whatever there's the internet is portraying.
So you, after what happened, some of the fans were getting on you, saying you had no business being on stage. I thought your response to them was interesting. You explained that their team approached you and moved you to VIP before the show even started, and then you said, "Pretty privileges, something you hoes will never know about."
That
And this is why you have to be careful because just because the package is nice on the outside doesn't mean the character is good on the inside. I know some incredibly gorgeous women inside and out. I know some gorgeous women on the outside, and when you have a conversation with them, it's like, oh man, you different. And I've known them for 10, 15, 20 years. I know some genuinely good people that would never, ever, ever in life go on the internet, talk, have these type of conversations back and forth inside of her comments or whatever, so on and so forth. I know some chicks that's bad, 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 that don't even have an Instagram profile. Don't even have an Instagram profile. Real talk.
post specifically was directed towards my city, which is why in that same post you see chat, which means Chattanooga, which is directed towards my city because my city is a crab in a bucket city. They were on the internet calling me out of my name.
Don't say that about Chattanooga. It's a beautiful place.
It's the truth. They were going ballistic on me, which is crazy because anything in Chattanooga, or if somebody does something that they don't get to experience, they just go ballistic if it's not how they would have done.
Except that you got to know that there were a lot of Usher fans there too, and probably in Chattanooga as well. And in a way, you did kind of diss.
You kind of dissed
you
Usher.
dissed
That's how
Usher.
Which is fine that they can feel away, but you also can't tell me about my experience.
So if they had said to you, "We're going to move you to VIP, and we want you to be part of the show when Usher is up there," would you have said, "No, thank you"?
Yeah, I would have said no. I would have said no. I wasn't It was never my intention to rile all these people up and ruin the moment or what everything under the sun that they're saying.
But you enjoyed the Chris Brown part of the show?
I did not even enjoy Usher. It's nothing against Usher. I mean, I've been listening to his music since I was a little girl. I know his music, but I can prefer one artist over the other.
I don't see anything wrong with what she said at all. Objectively speaking. Again, I think if you're going up on stage, I think she capping to an extent, right? The part that I think she's capping about is that she didn't know she was going on stage for Usher. It's Usher's segment of the show. You went up there, you sat on the bed, you sat on the set, whatever, so on and so forth, right? So that's the part that I think that she capping about. I think she wanted to be in the VIP, and it played out however it played out. As far as anything that she's going back and forth about, character is very important. And so I think that, you get to see who people's character is on the internet a lot of times and how they respond to certain situations. But for the most part, I don't hold her accountable for anything. I don't have nothing negative to say about her for anything because she didn't diss Usher. I think that we got a problem with Anton. You are never objective when the woman is attractive. Interesting. I did a whole review video on another girl that got mad at me and was DMing me a whole bunch of DMs that was also on the stage getting serenaded by Chris Brown. And she was just as pretty. Listen, man, y'all got to get out of y'all emotions, fellas. For all of the maddies, you have to get out of your emotions and you have to make a better decision. I know y'all want me to hate all women. I know y'all want me to be pissed off. No, I hate the behavior. I hate the culture, the thing that we promote that's bad about us. And I hate when women do dumb stuff that then put their children in a negative situation. I'm not going to go off on her just because she's a woman. I know he must be new here. He has to be new because anybody that says that is out of their mind. I've been doing this for too many years. I got too many videos that actually points to and references differently. All right, so it is what it is. But the point that I'm making is she didn't diss Usher. And I think that a lot of times we don't really know how to move if a woman may not necessarily be feeling you at the time. And again, it don't matter if it's Usher, it don't matter if it's Chris, don't matter if it's whatever, whoever you thinking about. Every time, everybody don't necessarily care for you, or they may not be feeling you at the moment. And the question that I have for y'all is, are you able to recognize it and get her up out of there? I think that Usher handled it perfectly. I think that she's relatively capping a little bit. But for the most part, I don't see anything that she's doing that's crazy. And I'm trying to figure out how y'all are so smitten and not being able to see through it so that you can make a better decision in your life. Somebody says, I don't hate women. I just don't like the dumb stuff that they say or do. And I don't like their delusional behavior. It's not all women. It's individual women, and it's a cultural thing. It's not specifically referenced to women. I don't like when men easily get finessed and fall for the box. I don't think she embarrassed him. I think he handled it like a G. Why are y'all so easily embarrassed? Why are y'all so easy? If you go up to a girl and she says, and you say, hey, what's your name? Whatever, can I buy you a drink? And she say, no, thank you. Do you get upset? Do you think that you got rejected? Or do you just think that she not feeling it? And she may not even, it may not even be you. She may not be there for that. She may be waiting on somebody else. Or she may just not be feeling you. Are you able to walk away and say, no worries. All right. Well, listen, have a good day. And keep it moving. And you'll never see her again. And it's not a big deal. I guess y'all not shooters. Some of y'all have never been a shooter in your life, apparently. And when I say a shooter, I mean a person that's single and walks up to another person and maybe approach them, maybe in your younger days, and they say, you know what? No, I'm okay. I'm straight. And you say, all right, no worries. I'll see you later. God bless you. It's a show, bro. It's a show. It's literally they up there. All right, let me deep dive a little further. He's married, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't Usher married? Don't Usher got another chick? Yeah, he married. That's the old chick. It's this girl right here, right? Listen, Usher is up there to get his bag, respectfully. He ain't tripping off of nobody. He golfing. He having a good time. The fact that he's still able to sell tickets later in his life actually speaks to his longevity. I don't have any problem with Usher. Usher is up there being a professional, making sure he put on a good show, and he going home to his family. To be honest with you, bro. He's there to put on a show. Why y'all so delusional and thinking that everybody wants you just because they putting on a show? Just because somebody get on the internet and they talk and they flirt and all of that stuff, don't mean that that's what it's like in real life. Usher is chilling. He rich, he married, he golf every day. He's on a top grossing R&B tour, and he's independent and he's running up a bag. I don't really see what the problem is. I don't even know what this whole rejection conversation. We need to have a conversation about that. Like, we need to make that a whole show, a whole segment on about rejection. Literally. Let me add that into my notes for the night. We need to have a conversation about rejection. We're going to talk about that tonight. I just honestly, I don't understand it. I don't understand why people make such a big deal out of nothing and they try to make it seem like, oh my God, he got. I would rather somebody tell me if I'm out here in these streets and I'm interested in a chick, I would rather her tell me ahead of time, like right then and there. That way I don't waste no time, no money, no energy, no conversation, not a text message, not a nothing. I would rather her tell me ahead of time and say, oh, I'm good. I don't look at that as a bad thing. I look at that as a good thing. That way you know where you stand and you're not creating false expectations. I don't like when people lead people on. I don't like when people give people the wrong impression. I don't like when people, you know what I'm saying, do people dirty. I don't like it when people use people for money and food and resources and play with their feelings and their emotions. I don't like that at all. I like this. I like exactly how this played out, but I suspect that people are probably going to look at it a little bit differently when we get on the show tonight. And listen, I'm more upset at getting rejected from a business opportunity or a job than a woman. Y'all be more in y'all feelings about the woman rejecting you. I'll be more in my fit. Listen, I don't care about no chick. I'm talking about the money. Oh man, I ain't get this position. I'm trying to figure out what I did wrong. Y'all try to figure out what y'all did wrong with the chicks. I would try to figure out what I'm doing wrong on the interview process. What could I do? What could I have done better? Was it my disposition, demeanor? Did I not sell you? Ah. I need to do things differently. Okay. Do you have any advice for me on the next time? I'm trying to figure out how to go and get some money. Ain't nobody thinking about no woman. Ain't nobody thinking about no chick. I'm hurt over a job rejection, an opportunity that I worked so hard for. Oh man. Thinking about no woman, a rejection from a woman. I don't even remember you from last night. I don't even remember your name. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. A woman? You know, they make a whole lot of those, right? They got like 4 billion women, 4.5 billion women on this earth. You worried about a woman? Man, anyways, make sure y'all hit the Patreon. I have a really dope, the first video I'm dropping for y'all. How do I describe it without saying it? The high school through college to worker pipeline. I'm going to just say it like that to keep you poor. The high school, now this is going to be Patreon level content and I deep dive into it. The high school through college worker pipeline to keep you broke. The high school to college up through worker pipeline to keep you broke. It is an incredible video, and I'm looking forward to dropping it for y'all on the Patreon. Shout out to Brandon Nicholson. Shout out to Brandon Nicholson on Cash App. I appreciate you, Brandon. I also want to give a shout out to Mike That Dude. What up, Mike That Dude? I appreciate you too, big dog. Mr. Lot says this played out exactly how she wanted it to. Probably wanted to be up there with Chris Brown. And notice how she didn't say that she didn't have a man too. She got a lot of them. D. Ordonez, that's my suspicion, says that face filtered not one imperfection. Mr. Staffpreneur says, I wanted to hear your thoughts on the Economist Elon Musk interview. If you watched the whole thing, the Economist's Elon Musk interview, I could write it down. Just remind me. I'm gonna come back to that super chat. Aaron says she won. She got the attention she wanted. Next is the money. It's not always no money involved. She's on TMZ. This is the perfect market capitalization. I think y'all mistake going viral for market capitalization. Every time that somebody goes viral, it don't necessarily come with a bag. Rod Jones says, you're right, AD. However, it's what she said about the 304s being jealous for pretty privilege. We see the finesse, feeling herself way too. Hey, your car, can you do me a favor and send me these super chats? I lost my super chats. Nah, the internet connection is messing up right now. And I lost my super chats. I don't know why y'all trying to humble her. Mr. Lot says, F a rejection. You ever got a PIP? Put you on that performance improvement plan? That's a fact. Forget a rejection. We don't care nothing about no rejection. Why are y'all so Why are y'all so dead set on trying to humble somebody? She gonna be Brittany Renner. Why do y'all want people to be in such a bad space so bad? Y'all don't even know her. Y'all don't even know her, and y'all want to y'all talking about her like y'all know her life. She gonna be Brittany Renner. She gonna be this. She gonna be that. Chill, bro. Hey, your car. Send me these super chats. I lost like 4 or 5. I can't see like 4 or 5 super chats. If you can see my screen in the background, that's how I know that the internet is messing up right now, because I can see what's going on in the background. I genuinely don't care. Genuinely don't care. And I'm not going to wish bad on somebody just because I don't necessarily agree with them. That's crazy work right there. See something. I got the glass. I like this core. This core water is really, really good. Core water is really good for whatever reason. They don't sell that in a glass. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's continue on with the show. If y'all having problems with the sound or the connection, leave and come back in, because again, we're obviously having internet kerfuffles, but we'll figure that out soon. All right. Let me see what else is going on in these streets. What else is happening in the streets? All right, let me read some of these other super chat. Internet is internet today, ain't it? Aaron Taluka says, if you handle the rejection well, some women will put you on her friends instead. Even not, just be cool. All right, so I did read all of them. All right, we read all of the super chats. We good. We're good. We're good. We're good. AD, you got to check out the emails I just sent you about these apartments in Jackson, Mississippi. What's wrong with the apartments in Jackson, Mississippi?
Okay, so I do have a lot to say today. I do have a lot to say today. So I just also want to kind of reiterate that right now with the market trends, they're not trying to hire black women. They're purposefully not hiring black women, laying black women off, and firing black women purposefully. That is a market trend that's happening right now because of the whole BS, remove DEI type stuff. Also, Workday has is, I already said this earlier, but Workday has a lawsuit out where they are age discriminating and race discriminating. So any company that uses Workday honestly can't be trusted. Why can't? And right now, including recruiting companies, nobody is proving me wrong. No one is proving me wrong. And then there's scammers that's on Instagram and TikTok saying how they can help you get a job. Just click their link or buy their resume thing and yada yada yada. Like, there's so many scammers because they understand that people need jobs to make money to be able to live properly. So just keep that in mind as well. That's the market trend right now. They're not trying to hire black women. Nobody has proved me wrong. So that's what I got from this whole thing. I am probably going to take a break from social media at some point. But as of right now, I just want to continue to put out the message that this whole thing is completely on purpose. And at some point, I probably am still going to name drop some more. So just keep that in mind.
I think that some of the worst things that's happening to women is not that y'all not getting jobs, is that y'all on the internet putting out false information and then they're forcing other people to prove me wrong. You know, that's a very disingenuous argument. If somebody says this is what's happening, nobody has proved me wrong, that doesn't mean that that's what's happening. You can't say prove me wrong. You need to be the person to prove what you're saying and substantiate your argument. That's why we say everybody needs to substantiate their argument. You can't say prove me wrong from what you saying. You said it. Prove what you saying is right. And I'm trying to understand, what is this narrative that people keep saying that nobody is hiring black women? Where did y'all get that from? Where did y'all get that from? Why do people keep saying that? That's not true. I know so many black women that have leveled up since Trump got in office, got promotions. I know women that have turned down opportunities and promotions. I know women that got richer, that is more successful. I was kicking it with some women that I didn't even know that was telling me that they still work, and they're the HR for diversity, equity, and inclusion at some organization in Washington, D.C., which tells me that that still exists. So where are y'all getting this information from? Where are y'all getting this information from? Because again, what I see happening in the culture right now is people are leaning more and more and more and more into race than ever before. A black woman just became like the top job in information technology over at the University of Michigan. And she's a mother too. She's like a new mother or something. Where are y'all getting this information from? Somebody says they are not hiring black people in New York City. So nobody in New York City that's black is getting hired. Everybody is unemployed in New York City. Kay Cooper says, was it over 300,000 black women that lost their jobs last year? Probably, maybe even more. I'll do you one better, Kay Cooper. How about all of the white men that lost their jobs in 2008? Or all of the black men that lost their jobs in 2008? Because they were a part of a specific industry that was more heavily affected by layoffs at that particular time. But nobody said anything. You know what we did? We went, got new skill sets, found new jobs, opportunities, started businesses, and then we won. What about the dot-com bubble burst when all of the tech workers got laid off and they just so happened the majority be white men? Nobody said anything. Nobody was saying and labeling it a race issue. Oh man, they're targeting all the white men and Asian men in this particular industry. So y'all chose government jobs, right? Because one thing that we know for sure is that y'all gonna complain. Y'all gonna complain about relationships. Y'all gonna complain about work. You're gonna complain about even when you're making money that men are not making as much money as you, so that you're back to complaining about relationships. So we know that you're gonna complain, right? We know that women en masse, no matter what the situation is, regardless of how good they got it, they're going to complain. We know this. People have been getting laid off for years in every single industry, everywhere. So y'all picked a specific industry that y'all thought was safe. That's what the real problem is. You thought that it was safe to go work for the federal government. But guess what? Government agencies across the United States of America, not even just when it comes to the federal government, but local government agencies are laying off people too. But those are the jobs that you primarily picked. Go to any municipality, go to any government office, go and get a deed, go to Secretary of State. Guess what you're going to see? The demographic of people that work there is going to be central to its location and is going to be primarily women and gay men. I went and got the deed when I transferred the deed and gave it to my daughter for her birthday. I go into the deed office in Oakland County, and I go in there, and it was very interesting. There was some black women, and there was some white women, and then there was some sassy men, and then there was some people that was dressed like they was going to a rave. And I said, oh, so they just let y'all do whatever y'all want inside government offices. You can wear piercings, you can have your face tattooed, you can do all of that type of stuff, and nobody tripped. So guess what? If the budget crisis hits the government in any way, shape, or form, and they have to start doing some kind of audit where they're going to, which they should have did this a long time ago, they got to go and do an audit, which they have to start laying people off. And if the majority of the people that work for these organizations just so happen to be black women because they went into it thinking that they would be safe, then what do you think is going to happen? If less men go into an industry that is going to be impacted by layoffs, you can't say that you're being targeted. You have to say that the industry that we picked, we have to pick a different industry. Nobody is targeting you at all. Nobody is targeting you. Your degrees, the industries that you went into are failing. Failing, which means that you need to pivot. Your human resource degree doesn't matter as much anymore. Your marketing degree, your communications degree may not matter as much anymore. You may have to get a new skill set. You may need to pivot. You may need to go into a completely different industry. Instead of government, you got to go into the private sector. You may have to get a job where you have to go into work instead of just sitting at home all day. But what they'll lead you to believe is that they specifically are being targeted and they don't want y'all to work. Why you? You think that there's some hidden memo somewhere where Trump told all the employers, hey, listen, don't hire black women. Don't hire black women. So prove me wrong. I love my daughter so much. Love my daughter so much. Chick texted me a book and said, should she get it? This chick be shopping for books. Now, you don't really want me to tell you what's really happening. You don't want me to tell you my opinion. Now, that's me being objective. Now, I can start getting into my opinion and it's going to change a little bit. All right? It's going to change a little bit. Because I think that more of y'all probably should be in. Let me be quiet. Let me be quiet. Okay, let me rephrase it. Let me rephrase it so that y'all don't look at it as bad. I think that a lot of y'all would actually be happier at home with your children. I think that a lot of people, a lot of women, y'all tired anyway. Y'all tired. I'm tired, so I know you got to be tired. I worked from 4 in the morning yesterday all the way up until about 2 o'clock in the morning when I went to bed. If I'm tired, I know you got to be tired. You got to be wore out. Wore out. Sometimes women be coming to me for coaching calls and I be thinking to myself, you don't really want to hear what I got to say. You don't really want to hear what I got to say. Because I think you're doing too much. I think you need to sit down. You're doing way too much. I want to do this and I want to do this and look at the level. I got to level up. And then I tell them why. I ask them, I say, why? Why do you want to do it? Why do you want to level up so bad? Why is this important to you? Because that's just what I'm supposed to do. Oh, so you're not really interested in leveling up. You're not really passionate about this. This is just something that you're trying to do because you think that this is what you're supposed to do. You're just busy. You're just busy. I think that y'all need to start being more active in y'all kids' lives. Real talk. I think y'all genuinely need to become better mothers. How come nobody talks about becoming a better mother? How come nobody talks about being a better steward? In my opinion, the women that's happiest are the ones that are not even in the workplace. I'm not really sure. I know a lot of women that eat, regardless of how much money that they make. I do not see a lot of women that's just like ecstatic about work and the job and having a good time at the job and none of that stuff. I do not see any women that are ecstatic about what they do for a living. None. I don't see no women that's saying, man, I can't wait to go to work today. Y'all need to be y'all need to be hanging out at the bakery, Pilates. All the women that I know that's happiest are well rested. They shop in the daytime. They go and get croissants. They have meaningless conversations with their friends. They all act like that they're so busy, but all they doing is just being busy, doing busy work. Hey, what you doing today? Well, thinking about doing this and doing that. Ain't got nothing going on. All of the women that I know that are happiest sleep at least 9 to 10 hours a day. I kid you not. They spend a little bit of time making some food, a lot of time sleeping, a lot of time trying to figure out what they're gonna wear, more time going to the gym, and then some additional time trying to plan for another trip. I don't know no woman that's in corporate America that's ecstatic about getting stressed out on a meeting. Who? Who, K. Cooper? K. Cooper says, wait, Anton, there's women in the chat who love their job. Cool. I'm glad you said that because I'm an interactive chatter. I'm interactive in my chat. So, ladies, please put me in the chat. M-E. Put me in the chat if I'm off. If you are a woman that adores your job and you can't wait to get to work every single morning, put me in the chat and I'm going to count. So right now, as of the live of this video, we have about 1,700 people watching. Somebody put me in the chat. The women specifically, not the maddies, me. All right, I'm going to count them. Live Life Satisfied says me. Fukari Ferry says me. Purpose says me because I do everything with purpose. Carmen says not me. So this is 4. Bridget is 4. Mrs. Amazing is 5. Texas Honey is 6. Ronica is 7. Sharon is 8. Kicking it with a chef is 9. Mrs. Chandra is 10. I'm not even counting Billy Ray Valentine. She always trolling. Live Life Satisfied. You can't do it again. I already counted you. All right, cool. So now that we got like 10 women, a couple more here or there. Couple more here and there. All right, so now that we got like 10 women that says me, let me ask you another question. Would you prefer to be doing something different? Because I'll tell you this. When I say I love what I do, I love what I do. I would not in any way, shape, or form ever be interested in doing anything right here, right now, than sitting here and talking on the live with you. Oh, everything changed, huh? Everything changed, right? I love what I do. I love what I do, Monica. I love what I do. Could not pick a better thing to do on a daily basis. I love it. Makes me tired sometimes. Sometimes I'm Billy Ray Valentine is trolling. She don't really want to do that. Makes me tired sometimes, all of this type of stuff. But I love what I do. Do I wish I had a little bit more time to myself to focus on myself? Sure. But it's a million people that would kill to be in the position that I'm in right now. See, I knew it. Where's the man that's going to save me from my job? Woo! Now we having a different conversation. Now we having a different conversation. Now we having a different conversation. Somebody said, I prefer to be full-time ministry. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me check my internet. it's remarkable. Oh, it's remarkable. Oh well. Let me read some of these super chats and then we'll move on to the next part of the show. Shout out to the ladies for being good sports. Let me give you all a round of applause. R.L. Howard says, sent you a video on IG of a black woman saying they're not getting hired because they keep suing the companies they work for. I did hear about that also. Women love lawsuits. Wesley Turner says Trump appointed a black woman to the head of the CDC. And he appointed a black woman to the pardon as a pardon czar. Billy Ray Valentine says, here's a hug. I knew you were a little tired this AM. I'm tired all the time. That's what people don't understand. You know how the Hawk says when he was saying, come on, big guy. I need you to go ahead and suit up or something like that or whatever he was saying. And he was like, that's the secret. No, he said, I want you to get angry. He said, go ahead, big guy. It's time to get angry. He said, that's my secret. I'm always angry. That's my secret. I'm always tired. I work myself to failure. And then once I fail, I go outside, take a breath of fresh air, and I come back and I get back to working. That's the secret for me. I might be always tired, but I always show up. Aaron Lucas says she spent 10 years in med school. She better love it. Wyatt says, now send pictures of your edges to see the stress. Harold Burns says, I love my job also. I wake up at 4 a.m. and find money waiting for me and mail my products, $700 to $900 daily. I work on inventory and build more and more, no debt. Shout out to you, Harold Burns. Heck of a picture. Why don't people use regular profile pictures? I want to jump over to Jamil Hill real quick. I know this is not normal, but for whatever reason, there's a ton of conversations, and it's just not going away. It's not going away. There's a ton of conversations based around black media and black sports media specifically. Now, obviously, we are familiar with everything with regard to LeBron James. Anton, how crazy is the Lamborghini? I love that ZR1X Corvette 2 crazy power. All right, let me answer that really quickly. Then we'll get to Jamil Hill. What I am realizing about supercars and hypercars and all of this other stuff is the more money you pay for a car, the more time it's going to sit in the shop for maintenance or all of this other stuff. That's what I've learned. My car is being serviced right now. I'm not lying. My car is being serviced. It's been being serviced. I had my girl drop it off at the dealership last week, And it's in the shop getting service. I think you spend more time getting it serviced and all of this stuff than you do actually driving it, babying it, spending money on it, getting it pampered, having people come to watch. I can't go to a regular car wash. I can't go to a regular car wash. Anton, why can't you go to a regular car wash? Because it sits too low. It sits too low. And if it goes in, like if you pull up to a car wash, they'll be like, oh, no, we can't, because they don't want the liability that comes along with washing it and something getting damaged. So what do you have to do? Either you got to go and do it yourself, which I don't have time to do, or you got to, y'all met my detailer, or you got to call your detailer. Hey, man, I'm going to be at this spot. Can you wash my car? Yeah, man, I got you. And then you got to spend extra money on getting your car detailed. So whereas regular people can spend $10, $15 or whatever on getting their car done, I spend $150, $200 on getting my car washed. So, to answer your question, when you get into that space, you're going to be spending more time building garages to house it, buying trickle chargers to keep the battery charged. Then I just get it back around the 4th of July. I did, but then I had scheduled maintenance because at between 1,000 and 1,500 miles, you then have to take it back to the dealership in order for it to get maintenance. So it unlocks the full power, and you got to get a new oil change and all of this. And then when you take it for maintenance, you want them to also look at this right here, because I don't know if it's... Basically, the Lamborghini is a female. Oh, man, Tia Marie, that is the perfect analogy. A Lambo is a baddie. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's a baddie. It's dealing with a woman. It's a baddie. That's all it is. It's a high maintenance woman. It's a very, very, very high maintenance woman. Tia Marie, you hit the nail on the head with that one. Jamil Hill, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody said it's brand new. How does it need it? I don't think y'all understand how these cars work. Somebody said AD could have just bought a Corvette. No. Y'all, okay, so let me tell y'all why I can't buy a Corvette. Everybody has a Corvette in Detroit. You know how it be Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces down in Miami? Well, up here, it's Escalades and Corvettes. A Corvette here is like a Camry. In the summertime, it's like a Camry in Chicago. Everybody in the city, the first thing they do when they get some money, all the old timers, dudes that's been in the plant for 25 years, everybody in the city, when they get some money, their car is going to be a Corvette. It's going to be a vet. It's going to be a vet, bro. You got to remember, this is General Motors headquarters is Detroit. Most of these people work for General Motors. They're going to go and get a vet. So when I pull up, I can't pull up looking like you. I got to pull up looking like me. It's levels. I see you. I see you with your Jubilee bracelet on. I see you. You know, I see you with your Submariner on. That's cute. It's got to be levels. It's levels. Y'all don't understand that it's still levels to this. It's levels in life. That's who we are. Oh, dog, I like your watch. And they say, yeah, but I see you got on that presidential rose gold. It's levels. You know why I won't go to them? You know why I want to go? I was cool. We got to get to Jamil Hill, y'all. I was cool going to the meets, right? I go to sometimes when I'm in town, I go to the car meets. I had a Patreon meetup in DC. Over in a city called Birmingham, which is one of the richest cities here in Michigan, out in Metro Detroit. It's like 15, 20 minutes away from Detroit. At the end of every month, the last Saturday of every month, this jeweler has a who's who, like a who's who car meetup. I get invited to the meetup. Hey, man, bring your car. We got to have your car there. It'd be all kind of, Ferraris, SF90s, all of this type of stuff. Lambs, all this stuff. I said, all right, cool. Man, I went online. My daughter sent me the meet online. It's a guy that pulled up in a Bugatti that shut the whole meet down. I said, I can't pull up. I can't do this. Listen, I don't feel as though I would be acknowledged the way that I'm supposed to be acknowledged if I pull up. Because when he pull up, everybody's like, oh my God. He bought the one from the Hamilton collection. It got the numbers in the front of it. I ain't even gonna show it to you. Some people know what it is. Some people, I said, man, I'm not. I said, I said, I'm gonna be out of town that week. I'm gonna be out of town that week. I'm not gonna be able to make it. And my car is in the shop for maintenance. I ain't gonna be able to make it this week. I'm good. Yes, I have car performance anxiety. He pulled up in the Hamilton collection Bugatti. I said, what? I'm not about to do this. I'm not here just to be hanging out. I'm not the person that take pictures of other people's cars. I'm the person that park my car and get out, and then I go and get something to eat, and I watch everybody else take a picture of my car. I'm not. It's some things that I'm cool with on just being regular. Yep, we can go to the basketball game, cool. Yep, we can do this, cool. We can go to the football game, we go to hockey. Maybe not basketball game. I got to sit front. But it's some things that I can do that I'm chilling. Cars ain't one of them. I don't know what it is. Cars is different. Cars ain't one of them. So I called my guy. I said, hey, man, what you got coming into the showroom? Cause I can't go. And he pulled up talking about the Hamilton collection Bugatti. What I look like? And everybody taking pictures of his car, and then everybody want to follow him down. I'm not about to do this. I'm not playing this game with y'all. No. Mm-mm. So the thing about now, okay, I'm about to get to Jamil Hill, but let me just tie this all up in a bow. So here's the thing about this. In the supercar, hypercar world, once you get in it, you can't get out. It's like a biker gang. Once you get in it, you can't get out of it. So now, but I can't just go to the dealership and say, hey, let me get this new thing, right? So what happens is you got to put in your order. I got to wait till next year to restunt. Meanwhile, I got competition putting in their order for next year because they seen me pull up in the new Temerario. I can't pull up. Now I got to put my order in for next year. I called my guy. I said, how long is it going to take me to get it? He said about 6 months. I said, okay. All right, Hoyt. Okay, Hoyt. I call him Hoyt. He said, oh, because that's my white guy. I said, okay, Hoyt. Listen, y'all think I'm lying. I'm gonna be honest. Look, I earmarked it. My internet's still messed up. And then my daughter sent me a TikTok of it. I ain't even say nothing to her. I ain't even respond. Oh, hold on, that ain't even the one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not about to sit here and be playing no games and all of this type of stuff. I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not doing it. So he liked to pull up at all of the little meets and stuff like that. I said, I'm not doing this, bro. So we got something else on order for next year. And we gonna do something a little bit different. We not gonna half do it. Now that I'm here, I'm here. Now that I'm here, I'm here. Pulling up in the Bugatti from the Hamilton collection. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I was looking at my Instagram, so I'm gonna have to drop a dime on him. I was acting like Kane and Belly. I was like, oh yeah. Hey, find out who that is. Find out who. That's how it is, bro. It's so competitive here. People be like, hey, who is that? Who's driving that car? Whose car is that? Find out who that is. I'm gonna have to drop a dime on this dude. Find out what he do for a living. See what he got going on. I'm not about to be sitting here playing no games with y'all. I'm about to drop a dime on him, bro. Out here looking crazy. It's a lot of money out here in Detroit. It's a lot of money. It's a lot. Hey, Azriel. There's a lot of money out here in Detroit. I'm about to be out here making me out here looking stupid. Nah. Anyways, let's get into Jamil Hill, y'all. Enough of the jokes and the foolishness. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. All right, so listen. Jamil Hill is speaking on. Nah, I ain't dropping no dimes on nobody. I'm just joking with y'all. But it's funny. It is hilarious. Jamil Hill is addressing all of the layoffs, right? And so one of the things that's hot, obviously, off the press is the Ryan Clark layoff. A lot of people talk about Cam Newton, all of this stuff, right? And now she's addressing the idea of, I guess somebody asked the question and said, why can't you and other black sportscasters form your own sports show minus Stephen A. Smith? I don't know why people want to remove Stephen A. Smith from the conversation, but let's continue. So I guess she's addressing this. I seen this pop up on my algorithm, and so I said that I'd include it into the show, and I want to hear her thoughts in real time.
Why can't other black sportscasters form your own sports show minus Stephen A? Because this has been a popular sentiment. I saw this. Somebody put this on threads. How about a black owned sports network? Tag me, Ryan, Cam Newton. New talent, black centered, community empowering, a hub for black athletes, high HBCU sports program visibility programs and specials that explore the intersection of sports and social responsibility, athlete town halls, local black sports journalists, visibility. So I love the sentiment. And by the way, I know where it comes from. It comes from the fact that a lot of us look, part of the reason why I started Politics Live and I moved a lot of my content to YouTube is because you're trying to put yourself in a position where you're not at the mercy of these major networks. Love the idea, but now let's talk about the execution, because that's the part that people don't think about when they talk about the execution. Well, one, if you're just talking about me or Ryan or whatever, like Ryan has his own show. Like he has the pivot. He's good. At this point, at least in my career, I can't speak for everybody else. This point in my career, I got real big bills. And when you start off any new start off, you need to be funded, number one. So we're talking about advertising, we're talking about studio, like we're talking about a lot of moving parts. There, notice now at ESPN how their show development has changed. Like at one point, for those of you who've been watching for a while, it used to be highly questionable. You had Sports Nation, you had His and Hers. I mean, obviously, First Take is still there. But notice that ESPN isn't developing shows anymore.
First of all, can we give Stephen A. a round of applause? Because through it all, listen, I'm just going to keep it 100. Through it all, Stephen A. is still doing his thing. And that means he deserves the contract that he got. And I also noticed how, again, I think that the sports world, especially as in a way that she's addressing it, is very similar to politics. It's very similar to black culture, right? Rain Queen, listen, I put my own money up. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't worried about that. But it's very similar to culture. It's very similar to politics. In that if you are not a part of the bougie crew, if you're not a part of the culture, if you're not black on the black hand side, then you are not invited into the barbecue. Think about it. It's just like when liberals say that they want diversity, equity, and inclusion until it's somebody that disagrees with them. They want identity to be represented in every aspect of politics until you become a Republican. So first of all, to even have this conversation outside of or discluding Stephen A. Smith, who obviously is the top dog in the space when it comes to identity, is asinine. It's crazy. How you gonna have a conversation without Big Dog? Yes, they got Stephen A. like Drake out here. How you gonna have a conversation without Stephen A. Smith about an independent sports network? At least acknowledging it or including it as a part of the conversation. But let's continue to hear what she got to say.
But notice that ESPN isn't developing shows anymore. What ESPN is doing is kind of the model that they did with Pat McAfee. They're licensing Pat McAfee's show. He was already a plug and play unit. He already had a huge massive digital following, and they just decided to license the show from him. So Pat McAfee is in control of his own production.
And that's where that's where I agree with her 100%. And what have I been saying? I've been saying that for the longest. I said that the movie, the music, and the content or the media landscape is all going to be based off of people that are able to develop themselves. Ain't no more put me on, coach. When you used to be able to go out and you used to be able to spit a hot 16 in front of, the Def Jam building, and then you get signed on a bad deal, them days is over, and then they A&R you, and then some people blow up, and then other people get shelved. Them days is over. They're looking for people that already got an Instagram following. They're looking for people that already got streaming numbers, and then they giving them deals. They giving them distribution deals, right? And so what ESPN is doing is saying that we're no longer interested in talent in mass. We're interested in people that know how to that don't need to be babysat, that can hold their own, and will just give you a budget. So whereas we used to have to do all of this in studios and in cameras and production crew and all of that, you already doing your thing, and you got a following, and you can bring your following over here, and we just gonna use the platform in order to get you more visibility. You benefit, we benefit, you get the bag, we get a bigger bag. We actually save money by just giving you a budget and letting you do your thing. That's what they doing. Other networks, and I'm giving Disney credit here, other networks are slow to respond. They're slow to adjust. I'll do you one better. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. You know where I'm really going to take over? You know where I'm really about to take over? You know whose butts I'm kicking the most? I'm going to keep it 100 with you. You know who feared me the most? I actually ran into somebody and had this conversation like 2 weeks ago. Local news pay more, Detroit local news pay more attention to what I got going on here than anybody else. Because they watching. I've been contacted by a local news station and for preliminary talks and saying, hey, is it possible that we can get you on air? Get a version of your show on air. That's bag talk, bag chaser talk. We're going to talk about that later. Don't worry about that. That's in the latest content creation live stream. I'm going to show y'all its levels to this. Why I'm no longer entertaining the foolishness of what's going on the internet, because there's levels to this. All right? So we don't have to go through iHeartMedia. We ain't got to do none of that stuff. We operating 100% independent. That's a whole nother conversation. All right? It's the reason why we rebranded. We're going to go in a different direction going into 2027. But don't worry about it. We'll get there. We'll get there. But my point is that people that are already built, people that already have a following, people that already can get visibility, people that can self-contain and produce their own shows. That's the new wave. That is the new wave. That is the thing that a lot of these, they don't want to have to deal with hiring people and trying to promote and all of this stuff. They're trying to figure out, how do we save money, get a bigger bag, and get more visibility on our dying networks that gets no views. And you know how they're going to do it? It's about tapping people on the shoulder that already got motion and already got movement. That is the next wave. But again, I dig into that in the Patreon. We're going to talk about that. If you're a bag chaser, then you're going to get that wave. And one of the things that we don't like to do is we don't like to listen to white people, because a lot of us hate white people. But there are some white people that is basically pioneering the movement. And instead of us paying attention to it, we spending all of this time about Ryan Clark and Cam Newton instead of paying attention to what Pat McAfee is doing and Joe Rogan. We so busy with low-hanging fruit that we not paying attention to how they was able to do it. And I'm going to show you.
inside the NBA. Notice they did.
But she's right. She's right. She's right about that. Studios are moving differently when it comes to the type of shows that they produce.
Same thing. All right, they are licensing this show from TNT because TNT owns the show, and then you have that. The reason why they're probably getting out of the business of creating shows is because they're expensive. And I think a lot of you that say, well,
Right.
just start your own sports show,
Objectively,
get a bunch of people or whatever. I was like,
I know people want me to go against her and say that she's wrong, but I don't look at whether or not I agree with a person's fundamental beliefs. I'm looking at what she's saying at the time. And in this instance, she is 100% right. She's 100% right.
yeah, that sounds great in theory until you start crunching the numbers. And especially at this time,
People think that Ryan Clark got fired because it was a black issue. People get laid off in layoffs, not individual firings, right? Because he wasn't fired by himself. Layoffs come as a result, as a corporate decision and the bottom line. They look at the bottom line and they look at what it is that's being produced over here, what being produced over here. Can we make money? Are we losing money? Is it worth the squeeze? And then they go ahead and they start eliminating the juice, or they eliminate certain lemons.
sports, like these networks that have live rights, the shoulder programming comes off of that. So, like, for example, I believe as part of ESPN's NFL deal, NFL requires them to have a daily NFL show. So that's why you have NFL Live. So that's part of the package deal. But when you just have a standalone sports show, it's a little bit different. That money crunches differently. Those are very expensive shows. And as you see, even from a digital standpoint, people have had to, like DraftKings, have had to pour a lot of money into these shows to make it work. And that is a big challenge. The barrier for entrance is a big challenge to why you don't see more of that. Like former athletes,
She's right.
have a huge advantage in this area.
She's 100% right.
A lot of companies are willing, depending on the athlete, obviously, are willing to put former athletes on podcasts, do those kind of things.
She's talking about Gilbert.
Because they know they can draw audience. Sports journalists don't have the same draw. We're not going to get and be able to create the same level of advertiser interest that the others can do. And so that's a challenge in itself.
Now she's starting to get into interest as far as like why people watch who. Okay? That's where it becomes individual, and that's where it becomes you got to separate yourself from the group. If you good, you good, and if you're not, you're not. If people want to watch you, they want to watch you. If they don't, they don't. For whatever reason, right? Liberal, Democrat, Republican, conservative, sports analyst. I don't know what's going on with this connection right now, but Shunk is crazy, bro. All right. We having internet connection problems. I don't know what's going on. I think they're working on something outside. So we basically working off of a hotspot right now. Anyways, but back to the point that I'm making is that now we starting to separate ourselves. One, she is right about the idea that it is much cheaper for networks to start giving licensing deals than trying to produce shows. The other side of that is, how do you get in a position to be able to show your popularity? And that shows on what you're able to produce. If you're not able to get no motion, if you're not able to produce, if you don't got no numbers to back it up, then why should they give you or license you a show?
Getting back to this part, about a Black-owned sports network. I think when you guys say that, you have no idea how much money that costs. For one, many of you have said this in the chat already. You're watching ESPN still. Like a lot, I find, you know what I find, a lot of people when they say I don't watch ESPN anymore, but they're not counting all the live games, because I don't believe that that y'all not watching anything on ESPN. The biggest advantage ESPN has over the other networks is that it's a cultural habit. You were born watching ESPN, basically. You know what time the sports centers come on. Like, it's an ingrained habit. When Fox started FS1, and even though they've gained some traction, but when you compare the ratings to ESPN studio shows, I'm talking about the more the discussion shows, to ESPN is crushing them. There is no, it's not even close. People watch FS1 for the live sports. You know, the World Cup just did massive ratings. So you watch the studio shows, you watch the things associated with live things. But when it comes to the studio,
I don't know why it keeps switching. For whatever reason, it keeps switching from the hotspot. All right, so listen. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna have a halfway show. I'm gonna shelf this conversation for tomorrow. Because this can't play out the way that it's playing out. This got to be different. So it's not working. I can't have a cohesive show without things going the way that it's supposed to go. I can't do it. I can't do it. So we might have to do Wednesday through Saturday. I can't have. All right, we here. Forget it. We gonna work it out. We gonna work it out. We gonna work it out. We gonna figure it out. Let's get back to what she's talking about. We just gonna figure it out, and however it play out is however it play out. All right.
and which allows you to draw audience. Like, if you did theoretically had a Black sports network and they were able to build or create enough capital to have a secure NFL game, you know how much money that NFL game would cost? Like, let's say they tried to do the Netflix thing. I was like, let me look up real quick. What did Netflix pay for the NFL? Let's see. They paid $75 million a game. 75 million for every NFL game.
This is where I disagree with her, bro. This is where I adamantly disagree with her, because I think that she's just fundamentally wrong about the idea that you need network rights in order for it to work. Skip and Shannon did not have network rights when it came to the NBA on the majority of what they were working on and what their success, which Skip and Shannon obviously built up the channel that Speak Easy wound up taking over. Skip and Shannon was just cooking. It was a debate show. They were working vigorously. And let me just tell you, it just ain't no creativity in a lot of these content creators, and a lot of them are produced, which is why they don't thrive the way that they're supposed to thrive outside of the networks. Has nothing to do with any of that. And it's very difficult to run a network because you got to have a leader. And the leader has got to be the person that distributes the resources. How do I know this? Because that's what I do. This is what we do for a living. This is what we do for a living. It is very difficult to run a network because you're going to have a whole lot of different personalities. And then you got to start acting like an executive and a boss over at ESPN. The problem is that these people don't want to work on their own. People lie and tell you that they want to own their own, but they don't. They don't. People are not interested in owning anything. They are more interested in getting a bag. and they don't care about what the bag is. They don't care if the bag comes from ESPN. They don't care if it comes from Fox Sports. They don't care if it comes from a gambling company, DraftKings, all of this stuff. They don't care. People want to be highly paid. They don't care where it come from. You don't believe me? Go gather a bunch of your homeboys and go create the Homeboy Show. Go create the Homeboy Show. Hello? I'm sorry, who is this? I hate telemarketers. Just so happened to answer one because somebody yesterday said, "Oh man, the offices was trying to call you, and you didn't answer the phone because I don't be identifying the number." But then when I pick up the number, it's a telemarketer, so I can't do it. But people are not interested in owning anything. Ownership is a myth for most people. They want to go and get your homeboys and go create the homeboy show. You know why most podcasts fall apart? Because people don't start seeing the benefits or the finances in it. And they say, you know what? We doing this for nothing. I'm about to go back to work and I'm about to go to make some money. I would rather go on DoorDash and get paid than sit here and do this for free for the next 5 to 7 years without no real financial benefits that come along with it. Ain't nobody trying to be sitting on the internet building brick by brick, person by person, live stream by live stream, video by video, getting in front of people, and then you go viral and you get humiliated and you still ain't getting no money either? For what? Yeah, that's cool in the beginning when y'all all enthusiastic about it. Hey, man, we gonna do this. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. And all it takes is one disagreement, one argument. Because, see, you can get reprimanded when you get paid. When you getting paid, you can take an L. Hey, man, listen, hold on, bro. All right, you know what? We'll do better. We'll make some adjustments. You can't reprimand somebody for free. You can't. You know what gives you power over your children? Because you take care of them. That's what gives you power over your children. Because they can't feed themselves. They can't go get a job. They can't do nothing. So guess what they got to do? They got to hope that they got good parents. Hey, man, get in there and clean your room. But when you start holding somebody accountable and you ain't got no money, do it in your relationship. Go and tell somebody what they supposed to do and let them be the breadwinner. Let your girl move into your girl's house. Go 50-50 with her on bills. Make the same amount or less than her. And then start holding her accountable on her spending. And see how that go for you. But when you cut the checks, it's different. You can start having, hey, what's going on? So what? My money ain't good no more? Everybody got paid, didn't they? That's what you lead with. Did everybody get their paychecks this week, this month? Everybody got paid? So then that means y'all supposed to be doing your job. Why do I got to keep saying it instead of y'all just being adults about it? It hit different when you cutting checks, right? When everybody can look at their bank account on Friday, Thursday night, Friday, and it's okay, that hit. Then they respond different. You know what? You're right. Let me get my act together and meet because I did come in here looking for an opportunity. You start telling people what to do for free? Like, nigga, who are you? This is what they're going to say to you. I'm doing you a favor by being here. It ain't like I'm getting paid or nothing. What's 100% of nothing? Nothing. What's 100 times 0? 0. For all of my people that actually studied math. They gonna look at you like, you need to be listening to us. That's why your network ain't working. Nobody want to hear nothing from you. Listen, when you broke, your advice don't hit the same. When you don't have no money, even a woman that ain't got no money from you yet or got nothing out of you yet, they'll respond to you differently because they know. Because I'm telling you, everything but go back. You want to relate this? Break it down from a relationship perspective. Even a woman that ain't got nothing from you see the potential in what it could be. And they know that you're rich. They know you got money. So they're going to respond differently. You know what? You're right. I'm doing too much. Patience is long. Runway is wide. You got more than 2 struggles. Your money ain't right. And you complaining. And you living with her. Nah. Patience is short. Thin patience. You rich. You take care of everything. And she ain't got to work. Patience is like this. Let me show you this is your patience. This is patience when you ain't got no money. This is you reacting to a video with no money right here. See me on the screen? So you can barely see me. You get a little bit more paper. Get your money right. Got your situation correct. You almost over to the video. When you get rich, you go like this. They might not even want to hear the person that you're reacting to. They coming for you. This is the patience right here. It's out the screen. When your money right, this is the patience. When your money right, you walk in the house different. When your money not right, you speak first. Hey babe, how's your day? Everything good? You need anything? When your money is right, you walk in a little bit different. Take your backpack off slower. You ain't even spoke yet. Here, babe. Got you a gift. There you go. For me? Oh my God, you thought about me. Yeah, babe. What's that over there? Hand me them bills over there. I'll take care of that later. Oh, I'm sorry. How was your day? Everything work out? Yes, I made you something to eat. That's the difference. That's the difference. You walk slower. Babe, I wanted to make sure that you were so comfortable. But when your when your money not right, it's a different reaction. You've been out, your money right, so you've been working all day taking care of business. You know what, babe? I've been locked into the studio for like 15, 16 hours. I am exhausted. I know, babe. You work all day. And I'm so thankful that you take care of us and you make sure that we got everything that we need. What can I do for you? I made your doctor's appointment, so I got everything set up for you. Okay, baby. Thank you, honey. I just want to lay down for a second. Let me wash my hands, and I'll be with you in 1 second. But when your money not right and you walk in, so what you been doing today? So you've been out all day. So you've been out all day. You ain't called. You ain't said nothing. I looked at your Find My. You just disappeared randomly. Huh? So where you at? You go to get in the shower. Now she checking your phone. When your money is right, you don't get your phone checked. I leave my phone right there. Bam. Leave it right on it. Leave it right on the counter. Put both phones down right on the counter. Bam. They'd be exactly how I left them. No phone checks, no nothing. You know why? You know why? Why disrupt something that's going the way that it's supposed to go? Why disrupt something something that's going well? You want to check it? You can check it if you want to. That's up to you. Here you go. Which one you want? Want that one? Want that one? No. I want, that's stupid. That's stupid. It's stupid. I don't check men's phones. That's so childish. That's dumb. Till you broke. Point that I was making with this whole situation, with this whole soliloquy is it's hard to start a network when you ain't nobody got no money. That's really what it come down to. Everything she's saying is money. Money related. Financial issues.
Let me real quick. Let me look to see what did Peacock pay for the NFL? What did Peacock play? $110 million.
You don't need no
All right,
rights.
glad you asked. Explain what live rights are. Live rights are the live sporting events that are broadcast on the network. So you see how ESPN has a bunch of college basketball games. We just generally call those live rights. They have the WNBA, they have that. Those are live rights. So in order to create audience, if I buy sporting events that you all want to see, you will come watch the network overall. All right, I'll get that answer for you in a minute. But it was money back, pay the talent, have shows, all those things. So whenever you guys bring that up, I'm like, I love it in theory. I love it in theory. But in execution, you need black billionaires to come together, like 3 or 4. You need
Here
more
we
than 3 or
go.
4.
Now I'll be a billionaire.
Okay. And listen, those black billionaires.
The problem is that people want to get paid the same thing as though they was on the network, as though they was on ESPN. You don't get paid the same thing. You just don't get paid the same thing. You can't get paid what you was making on the network when you building it on your own and by yourself. Because if y'all really want to understand how money works and become an entrepreneur, and let's see how keep pouring money into something that ain't necessarily giving a return on value. Keep pouring money into something that's not giving a return on value. You know what you're going to do? You're going to lay off your Ryan Clarks. You're going to get rid of your Cam Newtons. You're going to get rid of the producers, and you're going to start trying to figure out how to be profitable. That's what you're going to do. You're going to you're going to redo your organization differently based off of the fact that it ain't working. It ain't working. So they could talk all of this. That's why nobody ever has to worry about anybody taking over and competing against a Pat McAfee or anything like that. Because nobody wants to put the work in. They're not willing to build it from scratch. They're not willing to hustle. And they have low patience, and the money ain't long enough, and they don't feel like they're getting the return that they want. But you get freedom, and you're going to work harder. And that's the other part that people don't understand, is that you're going to work harder. When you work for yourself, in most instances, especially in the beginning, in the early stages, you make less, you work way harder, and it's no reward at the end of the tunnel for some people. A lot of people flame out and fail. A lot of people flame out and fail. And it don't be no gold at the end of the tunnel. I want to pivot over for a second. I'm sorry, y'all. My connection have been messing up. My super chat's been messing up. I ain't been able to read them, all of that type of stuff. But I hope y'all enjoying the show. I'm gonna do something that I never really do. Memphis Bleak. Memphis Bleak was talking about Tony Yayo, right? So let me set this conversation up real quick. Hopefully the audio worked the way that it's supposed to work. And we go from there. And so I wanna do a compare and contrast. And let me tell you why I don't necessarily care about a lot of rappers. In this conversation, and hopefully the audio is halfway decent, because I can't fix the audio because my network connection is not what it's supposed to be. In this video, Memphis Bleak appeared on The Breakfast Club. Now, one of the things that Tony Yayo, who is 50 Cent's right-hand man, right? So you got Jay-Z and Memphis Bleak is his little homie. And you got 50 Cent and Tony Yayo is his homie, right? Yayo criticized Jay-Z for saying that he ain't been putting on or he ain't been, creating more visibility and all of this stuff for Memphis Bleak. Memphis Bleak went on The Breakfast Club, and this was his response to it.
For you to see 30 years of Reasonable Doubt, where that was you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? Urban Plaza, Marcy Day.
Yeah. Y'all been going on it.
Say 401k Records, nigga. It's called. You never seen. It's insane that how.
I don't see anything wrong with what Bleak said. What Bleak basically said was, Jay did not raise a bunch of people to be dependent on him. Jay put us in a position to be successful on our own. Jay said, let's move this work, let's move this liquor, let's do this, or whatever. And so he decided that, I bet I'm going to work it, I'm going to go and get it, and this is how we going to hustle. And so he's basically saying what Bleak is saying. Look, Bleak's album was trash. We don't care about that. Listen, when you get past 40, the way that you're judged by your peers, when you're mature, should be how productive are you? How great are you at what you do? How's your family? How's your kids? How's everybody doing? And are you putting other people in a position to be successful now too? He said, dog, I'm not looking for a handout. I don't only eat when Jay tour. He said, I eat all year long. I got businesses. I'm working. I'm hustling. I got a wife. We just came back from Paris. My kids is doing well. Nope. You're wrong, Yakar. You're wrong. What Bleak said is, Jay put people in a position to do for themselves, not made people dependent on them. As a matter of fact, not only am I right, I'm right. And I'm going to show you Tony Yayo's response.
You're now too.
I got to find it. I don't know where the timestamp is. Hold on. I'm pretty sure somebody in the chat will.
Nigga, I will be in the trap.
Oh, yeah. This is it right here.
I'm glad you came.
Hold on. Let me pull it out.
Jay don't got it.
I like when niggas talk about me. Of course, who it goes to, you have. This is my business right here. Unit Disparate Wild Now. Shout to Murder. We have our own businesses. We do niggas be glazing. And look, you on Black Effect, so that's it.
That
Jay don't gotta take care of him. You know
But
what
nobody's
I mean?
taking care of me.
But hold on, let me finish.
That's where you're getting it wrong. Nigga don't pay my
Hold on,
bills,
let
don't pay
Gilly
my
get his point out
taxes.
first. Go ahead.
My
What you
first
about-
house was
let-
bought off my
let him get
album.
his point out. Go ahead. What you about to say, Gil?
He said I'm glad you came in. I'm glad you clearing a lot of this up with the
What stripes
dispensaries
niggas got?
and what businesses, you know what I mean?
We're going to talk about what
But
stripes niggas got too next.
he said something pertaining to YouTube murder about if.
He said something about me.
If
I ain't hear this.
Oh, you did? Oh,
I ain't know you said something about me.
Maybe
Damn,
it wasn't
Bleak,
you.
you talking about me?
No, maybe
nigga?
it wasn't you.
Oh, okay.
If 50 stopped fucking with niggas for a year, it'll be over.
Nigga, I will be in a trap. What is you talking about? If I can't, I'm still a street nigga. I'm not on Jay-Z, Nas and them level. It's cool. I was making money before. Like, niggas would be like, yo, was a pack pumper. No, nigga, I was getting money on 134 on God Brewer.
Let me say this.
You can ask niggas.
Let me say this. Let me just say this, Murder. Do you know how ignorant that sound? Do you know how stupid it sounds to say? Bleak is talking about having a family, running Duce, running businesses, owning restaurants, labels, and that Jay put him in a position to do for himself. Yayo says at 50, if I can't get no money with Fifth, then I'm going back to the trap. Do you know how ignorant that sounds? Do you know how crazy it is for us to be over 40 years old and for him to say, I would be back in the trap if I couldn't get no more money touring with 50? This is literally the very definition of arrested development. The very definition of arrested development. I would rather create bosses. I would rather create bosses than somebody that then becomes so dependent on you that they will be back in the trap at 50 if they wasn't getting money with you. That's crazy. That's crazy. No. Listen, y'all. Listen to what I'm saying. We have to outgrow this ignorant mentality of celebrating people that have an arrested development mentality. We have to approach life as though nobody owes you nothing as a grown man. Nobody owes you nothing as a grown man. And as a matter of fact, I find it very interesting that 50 lash out at people that's not dependent on him. Lloyd Banks has never, ever said anything about Fifth or responded in any way, shape, or form. Lloyd Banks do his own thing, stay in his own space, and feed himself. And that seems like that's 50's number one punching bag from the people that he used to rock with. So if you dependent on yourself or you go off and do your own thing, then you're not loyal. No, that's supposed to be celebratory. That's supposed to be a thing. Yo, listen, I love it. You won. You learned the lessons. You duplicated the process from a business perspective. Let's run it up. Do your thing. Do your thing. Stand on your own. Go and get your own bag. So you telling me that if something was to happen to 50, that y'all just gonna be in a jam? Here's the problem with the conversation. For a almost 50-year-old man, the problem in the conversation is this, right? And this is my opinion personally. The problem in the conversation is this, is the initial question in the first place and the initial accusation. Of when Yayo says, Jay don't put nobody on. He don't take care of his people like 50. And I get it. I know Yayo is going to ride for his guy and all of that. And I think that that's phenomenal. I think that that's awesome. Loyalty is dope. But when you start to get 50, the conversation should start being about you and less about the person that you was rolling with 20 years ago, 30 years ago. For you to even be questioning if another person put another person on at 50 is wild to me. You're supposed to be your own man at that point. Now, if y'all getting money together, y'all getting money together. That's not a problem. But to be even questioning if another person is still putting another person on at 50, you mean you ain't took your training wheels off yet? Nah. The initial conversation of why you ain't putting me on is crazy to me. It's crazy. Hey, man, is your big homie helping you out? Nigga, at 50, you supposed to be the big homie to other people that's coming after you. At 50, as a man, and I'm not saying that changes from your loyalty. I'm not saying that changes as far as whether you can get money with the person or not. But at 50, you the big homie now. You know that, right? You OG. You big homie. They supposed to only call you when stuff get rough. When everything start going bad. That's the only time that they supposed to call you. We supposed to be coming together like Voltron instead of supposed to be coming together like Voltron. Real talk. You supposed to be the big homie to somebody else. Who are you mentoring? Who are you helping? Who are you about to put in the position to get a job? Who are you about to get it popping with? Real talk. I'm never gonna say to another man, hey man, your big homie ain't doing it as good as my big homie. I'm gonna defend my guy, but at the same time, I'm 50. Well, I'm not 50. I'm 44 right now, but I'm 50. I'll tell you this, and this is just my story personally. I ain't never had a big homie. I ain't never had a big homie. I ain't never, ever, ever in my life, not one time, had a big homie. Ever. Now, and I ain't dissing it. I'm just saying, I ain't never in my life had a big homie. After my father, that's it. Somebody said, not even your older bros. No. We all our own man. We all did our own thing. We all do our own thing. I ain't never called my bros and say, hey man, I need a place to stay. We'll talk about it tonight, Slimmy. We'll talk about it tonight, I'm sure. I'm just keeping it 100. I ain't never had no big homie. I ain't never begged for a place to stay from another man. Ever. That's just my personal story. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but what I am saying is, can't nobody son me either. No. God is not a big homie. Your father is not a big homie. God is God, and your father is your father. First of all, God is God to everybody. And your father is your father. They have to do things because you didn't ask to be here. When I say a big homie, I'm talking about a big, you know what I'm talking about. Y'all can try to manipulate it and make it to be whatever it is that you want it to be. But I ain't never had no big homie. Can't no dude son me. Can't no dude son me. Nobody. You can give me some advice. You can give me some insight. You can, yo, time, man, dog, you got to gather. You can inspire me. You can do all of that. Ain't nobody gonna big homie me. Nobody. You can have a mentor to point you in the right direction from a corporate perspective, but ain't nobody gonna big homie me. Ever. We can get money together. We can partner together. We can do all of that stuff. But can't nobody tell me what to do. Can't nobody on this earth, not one man walking on this earth, tell me what to do. Not one. Somebody said that's a big homie. That's not a big homie because I pay you for that advice. I pay you. You don't pay me. I pay for insight so that I can take the lessons and keep it moving. You can't big homie because I don't owe you nothing. I paid you for the advice. I sought consultation for your services like a lawyer. That's not a big homie. That's you mastering your profession and me leaning to that legal experience. That's why I make sure that I pay everybody. Because can't nobody come back and say, yo, he owe me this. I don't know what your definition is, but I look at it differently. I look at it differently. Yo, Yayo can't even wear his chain. Yayo can't even wear his chain. Supposedly. Let me. Unless he touring with Fifth. That's or he on a Vlad interview. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Nah, dog. Nah. Well, tell me tonight on the video. I'm not saying it's bad to have a big homie. I just said I ain't got one. So. I put on. I don't get put on. It's different. Let me say this, bro. I have, admittedly, I have a level of pride and ego that will never allow me to ever submit to another man. Ever. There's been times where people was like, yo, how come you're not doing this with this person? Or how come you're not doing this with this person? Ain't y'all cool? And I'm like, yep, we cool, but he his own man and I'm my own man. And that's been historically since I've been on the internet. He his own person and I'm my own person. He building his thing the way he see fit and I'm building it the way that I see fit. Because I don't need no favors from nobody. I don't need no favors from nobody at all. And so when I build it, when we come together, when we connect, we gonna connect as equals. I'm not your subordinate. I'm just, and this is honest to God, bro. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to frame it. I don't know how else I'm supposed to look at it. But I can't for the life of me. It's not in me. It's not in me, bro. It's just not in me. I'm not a role player. I ain't never been a role player. I wasn't a role player in high school. I was by myself rolling, and whoever decided to roll with me, that's how we rolled. I was not a role player, man. I was my own entity. And it's just always been, I'm a loner. I'm a loner. And different people got different personalities. Different people got different personalities. Yeah, I seen Gunplay talking that nonsense about Ross. It's like, man, you a grown man. What you mean? Either you, so what? If it didn't work out with him, then go and get it yourself. I'm a loner, bro. I can't. It's impossible. I roll by myself how I want to roll, and I'll take my L's and my dubs on my own. Put my own money up. That's why I ain't never begged to get on. That's why I ain't never do that. If people call me, if people rock out with me, it's because they recognize my greatness and they want to be a part of it. And if I interview somebody, we recognize and we gonna go back and forth. I can't do it, bro. I can't. It's not in me. That's just the God's honest truth. It ain't in me, bro. It just ain't in me. And in school, in high school, it's like, who this nigga think he is? And I walked and I talked the way that I talk now. It's the same way in middle school. And it was just up for anybody and everybody. Anybody and everybody, if it just was what it was, however it was gonna flow. And I never believed that I ever had to subject myself to somebody else. Because my father told me that I was the king. And again, I know that everybody got their own personality, but that's why I'm so heavy on personal accountability and responsibility, because I think that people make excuses on why they can't be successful. Any girl that I was ever going to get into it with, any girl that I was going to interact with, ain't no way in the world I was ever going to go half or 50-50 on the bill. Look, she texting me now. Texting me now. I had a father. That's what I had. Somebody said this nigga worked at a steel mill. You say you was always a leader. So because you work at a steel mill, that mean you're not a leader? So because you got a job, that all of a sudden don't make you a leader? This is how I know y'all dumb. And this is why I call you dumb to your face. And why I don't ever mince my words and why I don't ever try to censor myself. This is how I know you're dumb. Is because you think that having a job doesn't make you a leader. I'm saying you wasn't always rich. What does being rich have to do with it? I didn't talk about money. I never talked about being rich. You're obsessed with the fact that I'm rich. Usually when people bring up money, when you're not even talking about how rich you are or money, they're obsessed with how much money that you have. What does money, which I never talked about money and finances and how rich I am in this conversation, what does money have to do with the price of tea in China? And it's because you obsessed with the fact that I'm rich. You brought it up. I didn't bring it up. You brought it up. What does being rich got to do with this conversation? What does having a job got to do with this conversation? That has nothing to do with anything. The job is to make money. They don't have nothing to do with being a leader. Nothing to do with it whatsoever. Somebody said drop the link. I'm not on the right internet connection, so I don't know it's going to be on to hold you. Yeah, the internet is still out. I'm on a I'm streaming on a hotspot. So I don't want to mess up the internet any more than it is right now. I don't understand. And again, whenever people start to bring money into the conversation without that even being a part of the conversation, I know where they at. I know they pocket watching. Don't pocket watch me, big dog. Pocket watch you. Check your own bank account. Check your own portfolio. Go and look at what your bank account say. I'm not being genuine. What am I not being genuine about? Oh, I got time today because my connection is messed up, so I can't really have a show that I want to have. I'm a plan for that tomorrow. But I'm kicking it with the people. You know what I'm saying? I'm connected with the people.
Hello.
Hey, I'm on a live stream. I don't know where you at right now.
I'm
You what?
at home.
Okay, what time is your flight?
4
So what's the problem?
with
What the painters?
because I don't feel like that I want to work with him no more because he tried to play us the last time.
So what you saying?
I just want to use the ones who we did the last house, but again, that's just me. It's not my decision to make.
Yes,
Totally.
I'm empowering you with the ability to
So
make the
that's
decision
always-
for yourself. You only have to check in with me when you're unsure of something. But you know what you're doing. You know what's going on. And so if you want to go with somebody else, and if you're having a better experience when it comes to a contractor with another contractor, then you have my permission to continue to do that. You don't have listen. You don't have to explain yourself to nobody but me. You don't have to explain yourself to Robert. You don't have to explain yourself to Phil. You don't explain yourself to nobody. You are an extension of me. You are in charge of this project. You make a decision based off of what you know to do, and you know what to do.
Okay. All right. I just didn't want to, make the decision without talking to you first, but
No, I understand that part. I just don't want you to be apprehensive.
no, I wasn't. I just wanted to get your opinion on it and see what you thought before I just went to the whole, like before I made the final decision, I guess what I'm trying to say.
How long is your flight?
Like 2 hours, I think.
Oh, that's it? It's a direct flight?
Yeah, but then they're an hour behind us time-wise too, so.
Well, I'll check with y'all and see what's happening. I might shoot out there for a day or so and see what's going on.
Okay.
All right.
All right, bye.
I just got a different mentality about life, bro. I got a different mentality, and the people around me, they have a different mentality, and I don't move the same way that everybody else moves. And that's okay. That's okay. Let me answer some of y'all questions because I don't want to play another video because I think it's gonna mess everything up. I'm gonna answer some of y'all questions. We gonna pivot. What do y'all got to say in the chat? I'm gonna read the super chat shortly. I was able to recover some of the old super chats. See what my daughter talking about. K99876 says, what do you think about the new evidence in the Nolan Wells case? The recording clearly shows that they killed him and tried to cover it up. What recording? What recording? Is it a new recording out? Who dropped the recording? They found some new evidence? If y'all got a new recording, send it to me in my email so I can check it out. I'm gonna answer all of y'all personal questions today. Good morning, Anton. This is absolutely none of my business. It's okay. I don't censor people. It seems like your wife and your daughter spends a lot of times without you or traveling alone. I love the fact that you are a present father. They do. They do. Because, and this is one of the reasons why I think it's important to say two things. The first thing is when you get with a guy that has a lot of motion, that has a lot of resources and had a lot of business going on, you're not going to be able to be around them 100% of the time. The second part of that is the reason that you have a wife, in my opinion, is so that she can be an extension of you to do the things that you're not able to do. So, for example, my daughter just recently turned 18, which means that she now has the ability to be able to travel by herself, comfortably. But she's not, I don't want her traveling by herself. I believe that women need to move in pairs. It's safer, it's better, all of that type of stuff. And so, because her mother doesn't have to work, her mother can cover a lot of the things that I otherwise would have to take off and wouldn't be able to focus on business for. So her mother can travel with her, right? To her tournaments. Her mother can make sure that, well, not just to the tournaments and all of that stuff, from a business perspective. She can be on site, and I've taught her how to oversee a lot of the projects that I take care of, and she's an extension of me of being able to make a decision. Now, she don't have to answer to nobody else, but when she starts to question things in her mind, she comes to me and she says, hey, I don't want to go with this contractor. I don't want to do with this person. I don't like this person. And I say, hey, you make the decision, you do that. A relationship is more than just about whether or not y'all having sex or how much time y'all spending with each other. A relationship is also everything included. It's business, it's attentiveness, it's covering bases, it's doing a lot of different things. So when we see each other, right, it's way more intentional and it's a lot more enjoyable. But at the same time, we are at a point in our lives where we have a lot of things that we're trying to do at the same time. And so it requires for me to be in multiple different places, which means that I need her in multiple different places. I need her to go and take care of this. I need her to be on top of this. I need her to do this. I need her to do that. And then at night, you may not see it, but she might be somewhere in the background. She might be somewhere in the background. I don't want women around me unless I can actually use them in a productive way. If you just around and you just here, I don't need you in my life. If you're just a lump on a log and you don't bring no value to me, I am trying to figure out what your superpower is and how I can use you effectively. What can I use you for? How can you be useful? And contrary to what a lot of guys don't understand is that women love to be useful. They love doing things. They just don't want to do it on nobody else's clock. They want to do it on their own time and on your time. They want to do it on their time and on your time. They want to get up when they want to get up. They don't want to set an alarm. They want to be active in their children's lives, and they want to be productive and useful. And they want to go shopping and travel how they want to travel. Rita loves traveling. She loves it. Rita loves airplanes way more than I ever thought that I would love them. She loves being on the airplane. She loves airplanes, airports, all of that stuff. If Rita could travel 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, she probably would. Sometimes I have to slow her down and say, look, you're a little tired. You need to sit down and rest before you make yourself sick. She loved being on airplanes. She don't want to sit on nobody's job. She ain't trying to be clocking in on nobody's stuff. And so I've given her that life that has allowed for her to be able to do the things that she want to do when she want to do it. That's why I say that I don't think that most women want to be going to no job. I can't imagine that you would want to go to a job versus doing the stuff that you want to do. Let me see, what else? What else y'all talking about? What other questions y'all have? And that's why I've been married for 22 years. I got married in 2004. June 19th, 2004. You would have been married for 37 years? Aw. I spoke about advice for young ladies in their 20s. Women in their 20s. It's 2 characteristics that you need to look for. Really 3, but I'm going to focus on 2. When you're around a guy. First of all, before we even get into the characteristics, the person, and I say this a lot, the person that you're supposed to be with, you already know them. Dating is for suckers. Dating is for people that want to spend money as a precursor to trying to figure out if they want to give up some sex. That's all it is. Dating, in my opinion, is it's just the precursor, the prerequisite. It's a formality to trying to figure out whether or not you want to go have sex with somebody. That's all it is. It's not getting to know nobody. You can't figure anybody out. It's not going to help you with any more insight and information on how you can be more effective or if you can vet somebody. You have to be able to see people in environments without them knowing that you're interested in them. And so the only way to do that is to network effectively with a group of people to where you can see how they operate on their own. You need to see if they're a scumbag. You need to see how they work ethic. You need to see if they like people. You need to see how they treat their mama. You need to see if they like God. You need to see all of these things authentically without them trying to put on a front for you. So, 2 things I would tell women in their 20s is to get to know people authentically in other environments that don't require you to go on a date. That's number 1. Number 2, look for 2 characteristics in men. especially if you're in your 20s, because you're not supposed to run into a 23-year-old guy that's rich. He ain't supposed to be rich. He's supposed to be broke. He's trying to figure it out, and he's just now getting out of school or whatever. Two characteristics, right? And these are great leadership qualities. Number one, good character. Gotta be a good person. Gotta be a good person. We don't talk enough about it. We talk about money. We talk about 50-50. We talk about all of this other nonsense and this BS in the culture. But we never talk about being a good person. Being a good person and having a level of integrity is so underrated and so important. So, number one, being a good person. The second thing that you want to look for in a person is work ethic. Because I don't care how nice you are, if you're lazy, you're going to be broke. And so you want a guy that's not dependent on you to be successful, that got good work ethic and he got good character, and that you know that he's a halfway decent person. You find those things, you find your man, and you hold on to him because he's going to be great. But sometimes people be missing those things. I like him because he cute, but the nigga lazy and all he want to do is play video games. That's not your man. It's not your man. He worked really hard, but I question his integrity. That's not your man. Cause he gonna have you jammed up. He gonna have you jammed up. Work ethic, character. Work ethic, character. They go hand in hand. Character is gonna keep you in the spaces that your talent is gonna take you. Work ethic is gonna put you in a position to where you don't ever have to worry about whether or not this person is gonna be the person that's gonna take care of y'all. I'm gonna check out that audio after I get off the show. What about being a Christian? They didn't ask me about being a Christian. I understand that it's a bunch of people that watch this show that may not believe necessarily in the thing that I believe. So I'm gonna wait. When they ask me about that specifically, then I would address it. And guys, I know that this is gonna ruffle a lot of feathers. If you want to get rich, and stop lying to yourself and acting like, oh, people that play video games make a lot of money online, but you don't. And that is an anomaly. That's not you. Less games, more money. Less games, more money. You are spending so many hours doing something that is not putting no money in your pocketbooks. You got to put down the controllers, bro. And I'm not saying that you got to put it down permanently, but I'm saying that it's limiting your ability to run up a bag, bro. It's limiting your ability to run up a bag. You spending all of this time on games and less on your money. What is your view on SpaceX stock? I talked about it inside of the Patreon. Why is my internet? This is aggravating me, bro. I can't even do a real show. This is crazy. I have to go to the crib in order to go and finish my work. Who do you like more, Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos? If I have to pick one, they kind of one and the same, to be honest with you. Because you kind of got to have the same characteristics. Like, you got to have the same thing in you in order to be great or do certain things. You know? So I kind of look at them as one and the same. I don't really separate them. I think that Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are very much similar to each other. Very much similar. Dang, if I got to pick one, if I have to pick one, probably Jeff Bezos. Probably Jeff. Probably Jeff. I'm going to go with Jeff. Somebody said Jeff Bezos is slaving us at Amazon. Well, here's the key. You don't have to work there. Popeyes or Church's Chicken? KFC. Because I like Yum Brands more. I gotta do it tomorrow, Fa, because my internet. That's my thing, bro. Like I'm kicking it, I'm chilling, but we gonna have to do a Wednesday through Thursday live streams because my internet is jammed up. My daughter is asking for my passcode. I don't know. Chipotle or Cava? Chipotle. Where's your Starlink? Starlink is not more powerful than my hotspot. It's over there. All right, y'all. Let me go get to a spot that got better internet, and then we're going to figure it out from there. Apologize for not being able to do the show. But as you can see, my internet in the background ain't acting right, so figure that out later. All right, y'all. Love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.